Hello creative cooks, welcome back to another episode of the Creative Phoebe Cooks channel. I'm your host Phoebe and I hope you're doing amazing. Today I'm sharing with you my recipe for these amazing pot stickers I've been feasting on all throughout last week. So if you're looking into making pot stickers in such a way that you can have it all throughout the week without it being boring, this is the video for you. Keep on watching as I'll be sharing different ways that you can cook these pot stickers and different ways you can have them so you can enjoy your pot stickers as you like. I'm going to start off by making the dough. This is going to be a gluten-free dough, so it does require a bit of finessing here and there, but I'll share with you a few ingredients that will be required to make the dough. For the dough, you'll need some white rice flour. Together with that, I'm going to add in some cassava flour. I'm so proud of myself for making this cassava flour a few weeks ago. If you'd like a recipe video on that, let me know in the comment section below. That I have here some psyllium husk powder and some Himalayan salt. I'm going to combine all of these dry ingredients together, whisk it so they're well incorporated, then add in some hot water. This is water that's not boiling, it's just hot. Add the water gradually to the dry ingredients, whisk it in or use a chopstick to stir it in, making sure that it does have a good hold. But to be quite specific, I added in a total of 230 ml of hot water. This helps the dry ingredients to bind really well compared to using cold water to cause that process to take place. Then dust your chopping board or clean work surface with potato starch. This will help the dough not to stick to your surface. So potato starch is a great ingredient for this process. And work the dough. I mean, knead it. Knead it really, really well. In the beginning, it may feel a bit shabby or crumbly, but see, the more you work it, the more it comes together, and eventually you will end up with a really nice, pillowy, textured dough that is just so beautiful to work with. If you're not working with this dough right away, wrap it up in an airtight container or in cling film wrap and store it in your fridge until you're ready to use it. Here I have a few fresh ingredients to make the filling, which is the next part of making these gyozas. Since these are completely vegetable dumplings, vegetable pot stickers, I'm using mushrooms as a really excellent flavor enhancer that will be able to infuse the ingredients with that nice umami meaty flavor that our bodies might crave. So chop up the mushrooms until it's really, really fine because you do not want any of these ingredients poking through the dough when it's time to wrap them up. Add the chopped mushrooms to a mixing bowl and we'll move on to the cabbage. Here I'm using Savoy cabbage instead of Napa cabbage, which is typically used. I'll also suggest that you stay away from the typical white red cabbage variety, as it may be too hard to squeeze out the water from those cabbages when we get to that step. Chop up the cabbage into really thin shreds. Then add it to a bowl together with some coarse or fine Himalayan salt and massage the shredded cabbage. This will help encourage the cabbage to release its water, which I'll squeeze later on before adding it to the bulk of the filling. Next, I have here some green chives. When you're shopping for green chives, opt for ones that have a really nice, vibrant green and fresh look to them. They should not be soaking, they should not be mushed up, they should be nice and perky. They belong to the onion family as well as the garlic family, and sometimes they do come with blossoms. Either one will work for this recipe, so be sure not to skip this step. Next, I have here the aromatics, and those include garlic and ginger. I'm going to grate these so they're really, really fine. That way, they can easily incorporate their flavor to the filling. Of course, if you know me, you know I love my habanero peppers. I'm going to finally chop up one habanero pepper that I have completely deseeded because the seeds contain a lot of spice and I do not want these pot stickers to be overpowering with that spice. Add the finely minced habanero pepper to the bulk of the filling. Next, I have here some boiled chickpeas. I'm gonna mash these and add them to the filling, which will be a good source of protein to these vegetable pot stickers. If you have chicken or shrimps or meat that you'd like to add to it instead of chickpeas, feel free to do that. Now that the Savoy cabbage has softened up due to the presence of the salt and the massaging action I applied to it earlier on, squeeze out all the water from the bulk of the cabbage. This will help so that the filling is not soggy, which would eventually make the dough wet, and that can cause the pot stickers to fall apart. And we don't want any of that. So squeeze out as much water from the cabbage, add it to the filling, and mix it all up. Now season the filling with some fennel seeds, that's whole fennel seeds, as well as some fine Himalayan salt. Now, if you see that I've switched up from coarse sea salt to Himalayan salt, that's because I've been doing some research on what salt is best for me in my diet and my lifestyle. And because I want to increase my iron intake, I realized that Himalayan salt contains a lot more iron than other type of salts. So I'm excited to see how this makes my life better. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to get yourself a nice pack of Himalayan sea salt. Mix up that filling really well so all the ingredients are well incorporated together. And if you're not using it right away, cover it with a cling film, store it in your fridge until you're ready to use it. Now, the day has come for us to make some pot stickers. Let's say you've done this over the course of 1 to 2 days. And one day you can prepare the different components, which is the dough and the filling, and the following day you can make the pot stickers. Like I did prior, be sure to use potato starch to dust your work surface or your chopping board to help roll out the dough with ease. If this is your first time working with a gluten-free dough, let me know in the comment section below how it worked out for you. Did you have to add in more water? Did you have to add less water? It helps me to know how these recipes are working out for you. And while you're making that comment, be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up if you're loving it, if this is something that you will make. And if you're loving it, be sure to also share it with a loved one so they too can make some and y'all can talk all about it. Thank you so much in advance. All right, so roll out your dough with the help of that potato starch. Be sure to also rub your rolling pin with potato starch so it doesn't stick to the dough. That would really help you out. Roll out the dough until you're able to see the shadows of your fingers when you place them underneath the dough with the light behind your fingers. You see where I'm getting at there? Once you're done rolling out the dough, cut it out using a cookie cutter or a tumbler with a large opening that's about 3 to 4 inches wide. That way you're able to make the pot stickers as small or as big as you desire. After making out those rounds, place them on a lined baking sheet with parchment paper and just put a nice layer of cling film over it so the dough doesn't dry out. If it dries out a little bit, you can work it by just spritzing some water on it, not too much though, but just covering it just helps to maintain that moisture level on the dough so that when it's time to work with it, the dough is still pliable when it's time to make some pot stickers. So make as many rounds as you like and save them on the lined baking sheet. Also, if you are one like me that likes to do batch meal prep, you can also make as many rounds as you want and freeze them. That way you can make pot stickers on a later date. I have not tried out that method yet, but I'd imagine that it would work out and also help save you time. Just like when you buy the pre-made pot sticker wrappers from the store. But be sure to freeze the rounds on one single layer without them overlapping each other. That way they do not freeze together while they're overlapped. And then once they're done freezing and firm, you can stack them up and store them, then keep them in the freezer for long term until you're ready to use them. All right, let's fill up these rounds. Fill up the round with the filling, but make sure it's not too much. If you feel like it's too much, remove it and press the free sides of the dough together. Then make some pleats. So the pleats, you can make them as fancy as you want to. The first one I tried was not the best, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. But this is honestly such a therapeutic activity to do. If you have kids, it's a great way for them to play with their food as well as learning how to make good food with love and creativity. Here's another one. I'm showing you how I fold it from another angle. I hope it helps. I really do. Just bring the two free edges together, purse them at the very middle, and start to make pleats on each side of that mid part. And if you feel like it's a bit too dry, apply a little bit of clean water, nothing added to it, and purse the edges together, just like that. Be sure to apply just a little bit of water, as in like just dab the edges just a little bit so that they're well and firmly sealed. That way no filling falls apart from the dough. Here's the first one I made, and you can see what happened there. And I'm not really bothered. I'm still gonna cook it just like it is. It's best for you to purse the edges in such a way that the filling sits on the bottom of the pot sticker. That way when you place it in your skillet to fry or in your pot to steam, it has a nice base to sit on. So I'm using two different ways to cook these pot stickers, and the first one is pan steaming them. Add a drizzle of olive oil into your cast iron skillet, brush it on really well for a nice even layer, and place in as many pot stickers in your cast iron skillet in such a way that the pot stickers are not touching each other. Give them a nice breathing room, nice breathing space. That way they're able to cook evenly, have a nice brown bottom before adding some water so that the pot stickers can steam and finish cooking. And I'll show you what I do there in a few minutes. Now, because I do not have a lid specifically for this cast iron skillet, I am creating an elevated structure using aluminum foil. That way, when I place a lid from another pot to cover these pot stickers, the steam will not escape. If you find yourself in that situation, try this method and see if it works for you. In a second, you'll see how I trap all the steam in that cast iron skillet. And this process takes about 7 to 8 minutes until the dough of the pot stickers is a bit translucent. All right, the Savoy cabbage makes another appearance, and I'll show you what I'm using it for, because I'm using a steaming method to cook these pot stickers, which is also another enjoyable way to have your pot stickers. So I have a steaming basket in a large stock pot, and if you do not have a steamer, you can also use this method. And I'm laying some cabbage leaves over that steaming basket. That way the dumplings will not stick to the steaming basket. Now gently place the dumplings onto the cabbage, making sure that they do have breathing room as they steam together. Also make sure that the level of the water that's just simmering in that pot doesn't rise up to the level of those dumplings. That way the dumplings don't get too wet. All right, our pan steamed stickers are looking ready already. See how brown that bottom is. And also another great way to know that these are ready is that they will easily come off the bottom of the cast iron skillet. And these are ready to eat, but not so soon. I'll show you what I do next. Now that the steamed pot stickers are all done, you can also see that the dough here is also translucent. You can almost see where the filling is in that dough, and that's a great way to know that they are done. And these ones steam for about 8 to 10 minutes on medium heat. Make sure that the dough is translucent to ensure that they are ready and done. Now in the beginning, I did mention that I want to eat these pot stickers different ways all throughout the week. That way this meal doesn't get boring for me. So I'm going to be making some sauteed red peppers and onions sauce. That's one way I'm going to have it with the pot stickers, specifically with the pan steamed pot stickers. And then the next one, I'm going to make a nice simple salad that doesn't require cooking. So after slicing up the peppers, set them aside, and here I have 1 to 2 whole carrots. I'm going to spiralize them so they look very pretty for this salad. Next, I'm going to add in some kale, radish greens, cilantro greens. You can customize the salad as much as you like. Also, I encourage that you eat seasonally. That way, if you do not have an ingredient that I'm using to make this salad, you can use something in your part of the world that is available during this time of the year or whenever it is that you're watching this video. That way you're helping yourself as well as the environment as you eat seasonally. You know, I just learned that radish greens are actually edible and good for the body, so I added them to my salad. So if that's something you're interested in and curious about, I also encourage that you maybe do your research on it. See what you find about it and add it to your salad. It's also a really good green. It has a nice slight peppery note. It's tasty. Here I have some onion, just one large onion together with 3 garlic cloves. I'm going to be adding with the peppers to make that sauce. Y'all, I made some dashi, vegetable based dashi, completely plant based. That's what I mean. And I made it with kelp, mushrooms, and water. I'm going to simmer it for about 15 minutes and it will be done. That is actually a staple ingredient in a lot of Japanese recipes, and I'm so proud of myself. Now, I do not have the full recipe here because that was a trial, but for that week, I'll be making ramen. I'll be sure to add it to the recipe. So be sure to subscribe to my channel so that when that video pops up, you will not miss it. All right, time to make the sauce. I have added onions, garlic, peppers, salt, as well as those whole fennel seeds, and a nice dusting of red chili pepper flakes. Saute these components really well until they soften. Later on, I'll add a nice splash of water, make the components a bit saucy. The dashi is done. This is probably one of the simplest stocks I've made ever. I do have a vegetable stock up on my channel. If you're interested in that, just say Creative Phebe vegetable stock and you'll find it. Now before straining the dashi, I'm gonna add some water to the sauteed peppers and onions and stuff. Allow it to steam, let it create some sauce. That way I can have it with the pan steamed pot stickers. And that's it. The dashi is ready. I'm going to use that to have with the steamed pot stickers. The red pepper and onion sauce is almost done. I'm going to chop up some fresh chives, sprinkle a little bit of it to give the pepper sauce a nice color. And this already is done. Aside from pot stickers, you could also have it with rice, millet, quinoa, whatever you prefer. Here's a very nice simple salad I'm gonna have with the pot stickers. Adding a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, a nice sprinkling of fine sea salt. I'm also gonna add in a splash of tamari to, bring it all in to the nice Japanese effect. Give it a taste to make sure everything tastes good. And side note, I tried to bake these pot stickers and it was rock hard. So I did the hard work and tested it out so you don't have to, because it's really not as enjoyable as the pan steamed or the steamed pot stickers. So if you want to try it out, be sure to try it out. But I think the dough I used to make these pot stickers did not have a good effect when I baked them in the oven. Alright, well, moving on. I'm serving the salad that I made together with a pan steamed pot stickers. This is one of the fabulous ways you can have your pot stickers. You could have it for lunch, you could have it for dinner. Okay. The second way you can have these pot stickers is with the red peppers and onion sauce. Okay. And the third way you can have these pot stickers is with homemade dashi seasoned with tamari, a nice drizzle of toasted sesame oil, Add in your steamed dumplings, garnish with radish slices, and creative cooks. Those are three fabulous ways you can have your amazing homemade pot stickers at home all throughout the week to make meal prep a total breeze, more enjoyable than ever. Gyozas are a national dish of Japan, so I'm so happy to be able to share my rendition of these plant-based pot stickers, gyozas, however you term them. If you're interested to see more Japanese recipes, be sure to check out my last episode where I shared my rendition on a plant-based tamagoyaki. I know you're gonna love it. If you're looking to also try out Gambian recipes, I shared most of my favorite Gambian recipes last month. That was January 2025. Be sure to check those out. Let me know what you like about them. Now it's time for me to feast, and I hope you really enjoyed watching this video. Let me know in the comment section below your takeaway on this episode. What other Japanese recipes you are looking forward to seeing on this channel? With that said, thank you so much for watching. Happy cooking, and chat with you in the next episode.